Hello farmers, welcome back to East Vineland where I'm finishing up the second plowing job I took at the end of the last episode. First one got done, took me about maybe 10 minutes or so, not too bad. With both jobs getting complete, we should get almost 10 grand into our bank account, so we should be sitting somewhere around 90,000. But then we got the harvesting job to do of some sunflowers, and I was checking out the map just a little while ago. Not many fields ready for harvest in the month of September, but there is one other big field of sunflowers that is ready for harvesting, so I'm hoping that after we get done with some of these contracts and maybe I refresh the page, that other field will come up and I can accept that contract and not have to borrow the items because we already have them for the contract that we're about to do. But first things first, just got to finish this up, won't take me too long. This is the smaller of the two fields. But like always, I'm always constantly thinking, what's my next step? And I kept thinking, okay, a bigger tractor would be good, but actually I'm starting to think maybe I should go the route of getting a harvester first. And then I got thinking, you know what, why bother even thinking about it, because the store is going to probably determine what happens next. Whatever comes up for sale on the sale page, it could be a tractor, it could be a harvester, and I think whatever comes up next will be our purchase. Just looking at some pricing around of what we kind of need. The harvester I want to get is going to cost roughly like $350,000. A tractor that's going to give us like 300 horsepower to 400 horsepower. We're looking at the rough price of another $300,000. I mean, there are other harvesters out there that, you know, I may just get just because we'll need a harvester, like the Mash, and the header alone would only cost us like $100,000. So I might go that route. But I'm kind of hoping this season is, you know, coming to a close. We're in the month of September, so I'm not going to be planting any crop and harvesting, except for grass. But next season, what we could be doing is getting a harvester and buying land that's already been planted and taken care of throughout the spring and summer months. So that's why I'm probably thinking, if it comes down to it and nothing comes up for sale that we're looking for, harvester might be the way to go next season. But we'll see. Next season is a ways off. Of course, I say that, and you know, the month of November, or actually December, January, February, we don't do much work there. In the month of November, we can do some work. Actually, I think last season, the month of December, I did some work as well, but not a whole lot is getting done in December, other than maybe cultivating some fields. I want to leave myself a little bit of space on that side. Actually, the contract is complete, but I just want to leave myself a little bit of space because with this tractor and pulling the plow, if I'm pulling the plow while it's in the ground and I'm actually on plowed soil, I don't really get good traction, which makes sense because we are plowing the ground to loosen up the soil for the next planting. So you're driving on loose soil, so getting good traction on loose soil is going to be kind of hard to do. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can see I'm driving on the old harvested land, which I got good traction on. The soil's nice and compact. I got good traction. But the second I'm going to get on plowed surface, I'll leave the plow down. Yeah, I'm on plowed surface. You can see the tires are slipping. And we've gone from 10 miles an hour down to 4, 5. Just slipping and sliding. Let's go ahead and fold that up. Definitely did help out. I think this is the first time I was actually doing plowing contracts in the class since we upgraded the engine from a 145 horse up to a 205, I think is what we got in here. Definitely has made a nice difference. Let's go into contracts and let's go with the completed page and we'll collect on that. And we'll collect on that. There is a cultivating job. It's only paying $370. And basically I would have to borrow the equipment because I don't have a cultivator. It means I get paid $300. Not really worth my time. So I'm going to drive this back on up to our farm, park it on up. I already got the 9250 case axial flow combine sitting up at the field with a header on it. And I also got the JCB Fast Track with a trailer. The field is up by our farm-ish. It's up in the northern center part of the map. Unfortunately, we got to bring the grain on down to grain sell point south. So I got to travel across the map. But we got a JCB. I can go rather fast, so yeah, let's go up there and get started on doing some harvesting. Alright, let's get this engine fired up. Let's unfold the header. Of course, we got to unfold the combine as well. There's a JCB ready for doing some transporting. I don't know how much that trailer will hold. Have no idea. Beautiful looking corn header, nice and red. We're going to get it nice and dirty. Let's lower that on down here. Actually, it should lower on itself. So this is a decent sized field, so I'm hoping we get a good amount of sunflowers after the contract is complete, so we can stick it to our refinery, start making some diesel, and of course that'll also make compost and pig food and some methane, I do believe. I don't know if this field is double fertilized or not, have no idea. It is what it is. Thought about looking at it, but I don't think I can unless I'm doing a fertilizing contract. Kind of the weird thing with precision farming, you can't see how the other fields are until you purchase them. Unless you got a fertilizer spreader in the field, then I think you might be able to. Not too sure on that. Oh, another thing I should bring up, because someone did mention on, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, about the wear and tear on the vehicles, going too fast. Now, I'm not sure if this is true, but in Farming Simulator 19, if you go down to your settings, and let's see, where is it here? Is it under, I think it's going to be under this setting, maybe. I have to cut a lot of this out, because I don't know where to find it. Okay, so right here, this is what I'm looking at. You need to come down to where the tractor and settings symbol is, and you want to come down to vehicle control, and where it says dirt, it says the speed at which your machine becomes dirty. In 19, that also affected how fast your machine wore down. So if you put it on slow, it'll get dirty slower, but also it'll wear slow as well. I'm not sure if that's the same in 22, but you can give that a try, and if anyone actually knows and tested this out, if that has changed in 22, leave a comment below as well. I just leave mine on at normal, because I am running the mod that reduces maintenance costs on our tractors and equipment. But you can give that a try. Like I said, in 19 that seemed to be true. I tested it out a couple times myself and it seemed to wear down slower. But in 22 I'm not sure if that's the case or not. But the only thing is, if you like seeing your vehicles get dirty, it kind of sucks when it takes forever for a speck of dirt to show up on your vehicle as you're doing some field work. So this is the same combine I was using, well, at least the same model. I don't know if it's exactly the same combine. This is the model I was using last time, doing all the harvesting of the barley, the wheat, and the sorghum. Nice looking combine. Now this is not the one I'm going to prefer when it comes to our combine of choice. Once we have the money, we can get it. I will say it is a New Holland combine. It's not the 1090. I use the 1090 quite a bit throughout my farming simulator career, but it's not the 1090. Don't want to give it any spoilers yet, because we're a long ways away from being able to afford that. Well, I say a long ways away. You never know. If it comes up for sale in the store and it's like half off, that's only like $150,000-ish to being able to afford it, and we are just about there, because we're at $90,000. I forgot how much I'm going to get paid for this contract job. And we got little silage bales next month I'll be able to sell. And I'm guessing I'm going to get somewhere around 70 grand for those silage bales. So that's going to be a nice, good income. Very nice. I had a double take though. I'm like, wait a minute, can I do anything with silage at our refinery? And no, we can't. So I was like, nuts. That kind of sucks. I could have made a whole bunch of profit on that probably. So I still see all the canola fields have not turned yet either. So I don't know when those are going to be ready for harvesting, but definitely want to get all those contracts. So any extra grain from those fields we can stick into the refinery. I could also go down and sell some pig food and try to sell some compost. What I may try is when I go down to the grain sell point to drop off the sunflower seed, if I have an empty trailer, I may just fill the trailer with some of those components and see if the sell point will accept them. That's one good thing about the easy developer mod that is out on the Giant Spawn Hub, which is for PC and Mac only. I mean, you can fill empty trailers. You can fill a trailer to a certain level of whatever you like. I just want to test it out now to see if those sell points will accept pig food or compost. I forgot, how much am I getting paid for this contract? Just so I can wrap it in my head here. Actually, 8,000. Well, it's probably going to be 8,000 because I did borrow the equipment. So, time to get done. It's going to be kind of close to 100 grand back in the bank account. And we're getting almost up there to where we could actually look at some land as well to buy, but buying the land right now wouldn't be bad, but the only thing I could do with it is take the field and just take the field and flip it over to grass. So I might as well wait until we do some work in the fields if those contracts come up. And the other reason why I would kind of prefer buying a harvester now first before a large tractor, we do have a seeder that can plant canola, so I can always take my time and plant canola in one of the fields. At least we'll have a harvester to harvest our own grain. Let's see, I'm almost completely, well, not completely at halfway, I almost like completely full. So that means I should be able to go on down and make another return back up, and then we'll empty into the trailer. .92% full, that's full enough for me. And the reason why it's not close as to 100 as you may think is I didn't do a headland run side to side down at the lower end of the field. Actually, that would be the upper end of the field because that's north, according to the map. I'm thinking I should be able to get this whole field into this trailer, which would be nice. That'd be just like one trip down. But looks can be deceiving, kind of like the other trailer I had doing the other contracts. I thought it would fill up the whole trailer, and it didn't. Alright, that's starting to fill up more of the trailer than I thought it would. That's all good. We got the JCB. It won't be too much of a trip down and back. Alright, let's get started back to harvesting. It's going to take me a little while to get this field done. But when the job is done, I get the extra grain and I get paid the $8,000 for doing the contract. That's when you can smile about it. With 70% of our field done and a hired worker finishing out the field as best we can, or as best they can, I'm delivering a full trailer of sunflowers down here. And it's actually, I'm glad I double checked, the contract is to the sell point that I put down, which I do want to test while we're here. Let me go ahead and see, can I fill this with either compost or pig food? Pig food I can. This will take pig food at this sell point. That's kind of weird. I filled the trailer with pig food and doesn't really... Well, it says I got 45,000 liters, but it doesn't show the trailer completely full. Does the in-game sell point take pig food? It does not. Okay, let's go ahead and empty this out. And can I put cracked corn? I can put compost in here. Did I not? Because I got it empty. Let's fill this with compost. And does the sell point I put down take compost? This is just for figuring out if I can come on down here and sell this stuff later on. And it does not take compost. So I can sell the pig food here, but not the compost. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with that compost. I realize he probably, they probably do have a mod for the compost. Be my guess. But guessing always sometimes isn't the best thing to do. So if I go into my, how much compost can we hold here? Let's see, compost. It holds 1 million liters. So I got time. I got time to figure out what to do with the compost. The pig food I can sell when I need the cash. I don't think we're going to have pigs on this map. I'm, you know, don't ever count anything out with me. I can always change my mind in a matter of a minute or two. Anywho, I need to get back up there, and I'm pretty sure the combine's not anywhere close to being full. But I didn't even look to see how much the contract of the delivery I completed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Let's go up and empty out the combine up here, and probably jump back into the combine myself, so I don't have to pay a worker to do it. Because, you know, why do that when I can do it myself, I guess. Got back just in time for a couple reasons. One, the combine's almost full, and two, I did want to do a little bit of harvesting myself still, and we are just about done. Worker actually did a lot of work when I was gone. I have noticed while I was combining this field, there are a lot of canola fields around me. We got one over there, got one there, got one straight ahead, we got one in the further distance, one in the near distance, and a couple more way over there. Tons of canola fields. So if I can get all those contracts, I'll get maybe 10,000 liters of canola off all those fields. If I do the contracts, I can stick in the refinery. Now that we know we can sell diesel fuel, but I got to figure out something to do with the compost. Like I said, that's not a rush. I'm pretty sure if I looked at all of their mods, I keep saying his, I don't know, but if I looked at all their mods, Zoddlezuck, I think is their name. If I look at all their mods, probably something I could do with the compost. Compost, probably I can make maybe some type of fertilizer with it. Be my guess. Trying to figure out how much sunflower I'm going to get off this field here. While we're letting that unload, I should look at my contracts. Nothing new has come up, but then again, it's only been maybe 40 minutes since I started this job. And good enough. One more pass and we are done, but I'm not going to collect on this contract. Like I said, there's one more sunflower field I would like to harvest, and it's just to the right of us somewhere. I think it's just on the other side of this nearest canola field. It's a decent sized field, not as big as this one. I'll probably get paid like $6 grand to harvest that one, but I would like to use the equipment that I have here instead of having to borrow another set. But the one thing I have learned with contracts, and the way I've been doing them on this map, is after I complete them, if I refresh the contracts, I make sure I take a screenshot of the contracts I'm doing. Because sometimes refreshing contracts or exiting the game with a completed contract and reloading in, completed contracts will disappear. Now, I've been told, and I think it's kind of true, because I've seen other people talk about it on other videos, that that's only true for 1 day months. If you go to multiple days in a month, it doesn't seem to happen as much because the fields don't need to be turned over as quickly. So since we're playing only 1 day for a month, every hour is a little more than a in-game day, if that makes sense. Let's just say there's 30 days in a month, to make it easy. There's only 24 hours in a day, so every hour that I play is like considered like 1 day in a month. So skipping ahead a couple hours, that's a couple days. You know, so farmers need to flip these fields over as quickly as they can when you're only playing 1 day in a month. So we're all harvested. We're all set to go. And now when I bring this down, I got to be careful when I'm emptying into the pit that I stop unloading as soon as I see my money start going up. And we'll turn the combine off as well. Alright, JCB. Let's get back down there and finish up this contract and bring the rest of the sunflowers to the refinery. Alright, we need to be quick on the trigger here. So I sold about $1,000 worth of product, and I'm left with just barely over 3,000 liters. One thing I have noticed doing contracts in 22 and harvesting, we're not getting that much extra grain that we used to like in 19. It used to be ridiculous amounts of extra grain we used to get. But now it's almost right down to exact numbers. I mean, still 4,000 liters I get to keep. So let's go pop this in the refinery. It's not going to make a whole lot. I may not even bother turning the refinery on yet. At least for the sunflowers. It is turned on for wind, but that's it. And there's a little bit of goodies for our refinery to make. Actually, how much would that actually produce? Let's see. Sugarcane, sunflowers. So I got about 3,000 liters. So I'm going to get 450 liters of diesel. A decent amount of compost and a decent amount of pig food, actually. That's not too bad. But not necessarily what we're looking forward to do. I could turn on the process for diesel into energy, but I don't have that much diesel in there to begin with. And I'm kind of using the diesel that's in there to refuel our tractors, so I don't have to pay for it. Let's come into our contract page. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I would get paid $69.05. So I'm going to write that down just in case the contract disappears. And it's fine if it does. Let's refresh contracts. Try this one. There's a plowing one, cultivating one. It's not too bad. That one's still there. Harvesting, field number 60. That is with, potatoes. Now, potatoes are good because I can put that into the refinery. How big is field 60? Now, I got to take in consideration because I keep doing myself on this map saying, oh, that's not that big of a field. Then get down there, then realize it's a bigger field than I thought it was. Field 60 is going to be somewhere in here. I see field 63, 64. Ooh, field 60. That's a big field. That is a big field. How much was that contract? That should be a pretty good. I didn't see how much it was, but it's got to be. It should be a relatively big contract, I would think, for that big of a field. It's a 15,000, but it's going to be 14,000 because I'm going to have to lease the equipment. That job would definitely take a while. What's this? Harvesting. That's also harvesting potatoes. So 2 potato jobs. You know what would be good to do, but I don't have it. Wrong buttons. Would be this thing right here. Getting this root crop harvester and get the potatoes. That's almost a 17-meter wide header, and it does harvest at 18 miles an hour. And this could hold, I think, up to 1 million liters. That would be perfect for those types of jobs. I'm not sure I want to take on that job at all. Let me refresh the contracts again. So one of the potato fields have been taken care of. I'm trying to get the other. That potato field just disappeared. It's probably been taken care of. I'm trying to get the other. There's one for sowing. Sowing some wheat. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. The other contract isn't coming up. Actually, let me check the page because it may have been harvested. So I was looking for field 58, which is right here. These 2 fields. Have they been harvested, or is it still says ready for harvest? That contract hasn't come up. And actually field 60 of the potatoes, that has not been harvested yet either. So yeah, I'm just going to leave everything right here for now. I think maybe we'll take up the seeding contract because that pays rather well and something we haven't really done yet too much. Let's see here. $675 to lease the equipment, so I'll get paid like $4,500, but I do have to use some seed in order to plant field 15. Yeah, I think we'll venture that into the next episode because that harvesting contract took a lot longer, and I was kind of hoping to get the other one, but maybe I'll have to wait. Maybe I'll have to just collect on the contract and lease the equipment again if it comes back up. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland. But until then, have a good one.